This video is going to give you kind of a crash course in editing in Screencast-o-matic. I am here on my Screencast-o-matic desktop dashboard, and I'm going to click on recording number 5. We're going to edit this one. Click Edit. There are kind of two big concepts that you need to know when you're editing Screencast-o-matic. The first is that you can edit your main video, and that's what you're seeing in the big box right here. It seems a little counterintuitive, but there's actually relatively little that you can do to the main video. You can crop it and you can resize it, and that's really it. Everything else that you're going to do as edits to your timeline. And the timeline runs beneath your video. You can see here it runs 0 to 46 seconds. By default, when you begin editing a video, you see the entire timeline, no matter how long your video is. You can imagine that if this were a 2-hour-long video, this would be pretty scrunched up, and that makes it hard to do any kind of real editing. So if you click here on the magnify timeline, it'll zoom in to a much smaller chunk of your timeline. Since my video is only 46 seconds, you're really not seeing that. The final thing you need to know is that this white line is your timeline indicator. And you can drag it to any point in your video to either play or to make an edit. So I'm going to show you how to make edits to the main video. I'm not going to show you everything that you can do. A lot of this you're just going to have to play with and see. Otherwise, we could be here for 2 hours with me just kind of walking you through one tool after another. Basic concept when you're editing your main video is that this main video never goes away. We just change the way that it shows in the recording. So to show you what I mean by that, I've clicked in the main video. If I want to resize, I need to tell Screencast-o-matic at what point on my timeline do I want that resize to happen. Let's say I want it to begin at exactly 4 seconds. I've clicked right here. You can see that says 4.04 seconds, which is pretty close. But if I really want to fine tune, I can use the arrow keys on my keyboard to move in increments of 4/100ths of a second. And that got me to 4 seconds exactly. And now I'm going to click on this little white circle to add an edit point in the video. That tells Screencast-o-matic that whatever I'm about to do, we start that exactly at 4 seconds, and it will run either until the end of the video or until there is another edit point where we do something different. By default, we get a 1 second fade in to whatever change we're about to make. And now I'm going to make that change. I'm going to resize by coming up here. Let's say I want to just look very closely at this set of tools. I can grab the little handlebars over here and drag just like that. Now I can preview by clicking on this. Hey, I kind of like what we got there. So I'm going to click Done. And it will ask me to confirm that I want to modify the main video. And you can see now, if I click on 3.44, and we will remain at this level of zoomed in for the rest of the video, unless I tell it to do something different. So let's say I want to keep that until exactly 8 seconds. Again, I can drag to 8.12 and then fine tune. I can click on the main video. I can set an edit point. Got my default 1 second fade in. I can grab the corner and I can drag back out to the main. Or I could, if I wanted to, zoom into something else. I preview it. Yep, that's what I want. So I click Done, and then I click Modify the main video. And you'll see here, we'll play through just a little bit of this. Zoom in. Zoom out. You can use the same technique to crop your video by clicking over here on the crop side, and that has just a slightly different effect. You have some options here for the style I don't usually mess with those too much. You've got some options here to flip the horizontal. I don't know why I'd ever want to do that, but it's pretty cool. I could really mess with your mind by publishing the whole video like that. I can remove colors. There's a good bit you can do there. We'll say more about layering in a moment. Now, if you remember, I said that we don't usually do very much with the actual main video. Most of what happens are edits to the timeline. So I'm going to jump forward just a little bit. And let's imagine that right at this point, 14 point, well, I'm going to jump all the way up to exactly 15 seconds. We want an arrow to appear on the screen that points at the word videos. Instead of trying to edit the main video, what I do is to put a tool on the timeline. So I come up here to overlay, I click arrow, and I draw my arrow. I can change the style of it. I can have the way that it fades in. Instead of being a pop, I can make it a fade, or I can make it none. I can rotate my arrow. You can see it's very slowly rotating. More layering, and I can change the opacity of it. I don't know why you would ever want something at 0% opacity, but I do know why you would want it at less. I'm going to leave it at 100. Again, I can preview. If I wasn't happy with that, I could go back in and edit, but I'm pretty happy with that, so I'm going to do OK. Let's imagine, though, that 2 seconds into that, so it's 16 seconds exactly. Oh, look at that. I dragged it perfectly. No need to fine tune. I also want an arrow to appear that points at the little camera right here. I can just do exactly the same thing. Not real happy with the blue there, so I'm going to change the quick style. I'm going to choose customize style and click on line to change the line colors. Let's make it pink so that we can see it a little better. I can preview. Again, I'm pretty happy with this. So I'm going to click OK. My point in showing you that is just to show you that you can have multiple effects on the timeline at the same time. We could stack 7 or 8 different arrows in there, all kinds of fun stuff. That raises the question, though, of how do I edit once I have created one of these things? And to do that, you click into the yellow that indicates your effects. And you can see right here, I've got 2 little icons that indicate that we have put a shape on the timeline. And if I move back and forth between them, you can see that it changes the box around them so that I know which one I'm editing. Let's say that I decide that I really don't like that pink color and I want to change it. I just click on the icon so that I can edit my arrow. Come back up here to customize style, and let's make it green instead, and then I'm done. I can change the length of one of these by dragging the little blue handles, and you can do that when you originally created as well. I forgot to say that. And I click OK. And you can see now I've got a green arrow that lasts a little bit longer. The other thing that you need to know with these kinds of effects is that you can click on one of these and you have the option of trashing it. So this gets rid of the edit altogether. And I thought I was removed. I didn't pay attention to which box was selected. You can see there. The number of tools that you have available it's pretty impressive. And I'm going to show you a couple of them. I can insert a new video. So this is a way to splice together videos. I can overlay highlights. Let's say I want to highlight this video right here. I can drag that around and then I can expand it to make it look like what I want. I'm going to leave it at the default 3 seconds and click OK, and you can see what effect this has. So I will leave it to you to figure out a good bit of this. two further things that I want to show you. One is to think about how you can use these tools to create effects. So I'm going to click here at the beginning of my video. I'm going to use my tools to insert a pause. And when you insert a pause, it does exactly what it sounds like. Your video stays the same, whatever is on the screen at that time, but there's no audio. So at the beginning of a recording, I like to do a 3-second pause. And then I like to overlay a slide or an image that gives us some information about the video. And this is a new computer for me. I don't have any images saved at the moment, so I will use a recent one. It is an incorrect size for this, but you'll be able to get the basic idea. I'm going to drag it so that it's covering my full screen. And then click OK. And the effect that you get is that you have your slide on the screen for a moment, then your audio kicks in, and then you fade into whatever it is that you're doing. And you can do the same at the end of your video, fading out. Last thing I want to show you with the editing tools is that you do have the option over here to either show or not show your cursor. I am pretty awful at doing this number while I'm talking, so I like to hide my cursor so that that doesn't happen. If you do that, you then have a little bit more work to do using arrows to point out things in the video. That should get you started with editing in Screencast-o-matic, and I really do encourage you to create some videos and just play, knowing that it's not something you can really hurt or mess up in any way. When I'm finished, I click Done, and then I can either save or upload. Hope that's helpful.